Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is April the 7th, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, with high hopes. As for me, doing pretty good. Not too much to report on the food. I did get a McDonald's breakfast, so there's that. We can talk about that real quick. Steak, egg and cheese bagel, bacon and cheese biscuit, hash brown, large Coke. Very good. Yummy. Eat it on the go. Then at work, my coworker, who told me earlier in the week, they hit me up and they said, Isaiah, I'm making a cheesecake when I get back. Do you want some? And they say it's a honey bun cheesecake. So, of course, my answer is yes. Like emojis. If you don't know, I am a big cheesecake fan. It's my favorite dessert. I will generally take and eat any kind of cheesecake with the exception of lemon. I don't like lemon, like any kind of lemon flavoring. If there's an orangish cheesecake with some kind of orange flavoring, I probably wouldn't want that either. I'm not a big citrus guy when it comes to my cheesecake, or really not too much on pastries or desserts. But I'm a big cheesecake slut. That's a fact, Jack. So I was so happy. They brought it today. I ate it. It was really the only thing I've eaten other than the. I'm a bottomless pit. What am I saying? It's the only thing I've eaten today. I'm so hungry. No, I'm a bottomless pit most days. But it was very yum. It was very good. Anywho, we can go ahead and get to the news from the BBC. Daria Trepova, Russia cafe bomb suspect charged with terrorism. So this was a big event that took place actually in St. Petersburg, Russia. There was a pretty big pro-war Russian blogger, Vladlen Tarsky. He okay. So I should break this down a little bit. Really popular thing right now is like war blogging. So it's essentially just people who were just saying, "Hey, these are my thoughts and opinions on the war, and I'm just going to be an armchair general kind of dude." Well, these guys have kind of been upgraded to the level of like elite influencer in Russia, especially people who have like these firebrand takes like, not only do we like support this, like not only do we love this, we want the Kremlin to do more. We want them to go harder. We want them to like blah blah blah. So these bloggers are frothing at the mouth, and to an extent, I think that the Kremlin doesn't love this, but they don't necessarily hate it because, like, oh yeah, like these guys are kind of bashing Putin, like just loud and proud, but they are also like rabidly supporting what we are doing here. They are rabidly supporting this whole invasion war thing that we are doing in Ukraine. So we don't want to leash them. We don't want to stop them or censor them because they could if they wanted to. So instead, they let them have this platform and they just kind of grandstand and blah, blah, blah. And I imagine they're probably making some kind of money. That being said, I guess they had this little meeting at a cafe. It seems very cozy, very low key. And I'm talking. Maybe I'm talking a little shit. I don't mind if I do. I don't really like either side here. I guess you can say, because like obviously this guy is like just baying for like atrocities. Like he just wants like the worst things to happen. And then this Daria, what is it? Trepova. I'm gonna say this name wrong. Pregame's killing me. Trepova, which we come to find out is a part of, I think maybe a part of, but the National Republican Party, which is a group in Russia that has at least claimed responsibility for the bombing that takes place in this cafe. I haven't really gotten to that part yet. So anyway, they're meeting in this cozy cafe, and they actually have camera footage of it where you see a woman in like this long like trench coat, and I'm not gonna lie to you, y'all, like this feels like Mission Impossible, this feels like a movie, this is Metal Gear Solid moments. She walks in and they have the camera angle of her walking in from outside. Then there's another camera that's inside that I guess is someone like recording, and they have the statue. So I finally got to see the statue. It's kind of like a weird looking, almost looks like, I didn't really look at it too hard. It almost looks like a golden Buddha type thing. I don't think that is what it is. It's a very cool looking statue, but essentially, and the woman had carried this box in that had the statue. So they're opening it up, and they're like, oh, wow, so cool. Oh, so nice. And they set it up, like, I'm assuming right next to him while he's talking. And then they pan out in the like they added it next into the outside camera or another outside camera, and the bomb, which is in the statue, goes off and it levels. Like it doesn't level the building, but like the cafe just gets blown out. The windows, like it's crazy. It's like, but despite the intensity of that explosion, only Tarkovsky dies. I believe 30 more people were injured. But, yeah, I mean, this was a big moment. They did wind up catching Trepova, and it looks like she's going to be charged, terrorism crimes. But, let's see. And she's 26 years old. Tarkovsky is 40 years old. So, obviously, he was an expert general. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to really hit here. No, I think we're going to move on. But, I mean, obviously, I'll keep you posted as this develops. But, yeah, I mean, it was definitely it felt like almost like a spy thing. But this also was a big deal because of the National Republican Army. That's another thing I guess I wanted to mention. Them, coming out and claiming that. They also claimed the situation that happened with, what was her name? I know her last name, Dugan. I can't remember. Alexander Dugin, but it was Darya. It was Darya Dugina. She was in an explosion, like a car bomb explosion that took place. And I didn't know this, so this is a bit of an update, that this National Republican Army, I guess you can just call them the NRA, but not National Rifle Association. I'm trying to get these all mixed up, but whatever. They claim responsibility for both of these things. So that's big news. So there you go. We're all getting caught up today on this lovely, lovely Friday. Let's see. And then I also have some more Russia news from the Associated Press report. Russia charges journal reporter with espionage. Jailed Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich has been charged with espionage in Russia and has entered a formal denial. 2 Russian news agencies reported on Friday. So, I mean, let's see, Washington, or the Wall Street Journal News, whatever, Washington, the administration, people have been coming out saying, hey, he needs to be released as soon as possible. It looks like, though, they're going to run him through the whole process. They also are saying that they have actual evidence of him using his credentials to obtain top secret information. So I mean, it does sound and seem like poppycock to me, but they're going to go through this process. They're going to try, I assume, to do a negotiation or some kind of trade at the end of the trial. But it does seem like they're going to run them through everything. But obviously, this is big. This is a journalist. It hasn't happened. Like a high profile arrest like this hasn't happened since the Cold War, at least with the journalists. We've obviously seen it with Brittany Griner and a couple others we've talked about before. But yeah, I mean, we'll obviously keep you posted on what's going to happen next. I don't know how fast this is going to develop. They all kind of move on their own pace. So let's see here from CNN. Operation Cookie Monster. FBI seizes popular cybercrime forum used for large-scale identity theft. So I thought, obviously, this was just a cute-sounding name for like a government raid crackdown situation. Also, it's cybercrime. So I'm very drawn to that kind of shit to want to talk about it. So here we are. The FBI and European law enforcement agencies have arrested more than 100 people as part of a global crackdown on a cybercrime forum that facilitated large-scale identity theft, officials said Wednesday. Now, this is about Genesis Market. It was an invitation-only crime forum that, for the last 5 years, according to the U.S. Justice Department, offered data stolen from more than 1.5 million computers around the world, containing login details from more than 80 million user accounts. So obviously that's really heavy shit, but you never know how bad that damage is until, like, oh shit, like your shit's getting hacked or your information's being stolen, what have you. Not to mention the way that this information was gathered. They don't just get like a one-time lick off of you to sell to people. They have what they call a digital fingerprint of you. And what they are essentially selling is a subscription to people, to crime hacker users, whatever. And they can track you for life. Whatever you change, whatever, there will always be some kind of thread that you will have to enter in that will match this, and they can find that, make the login work, and get the information that they want from you. So it's not a nothing crime. This isn't, to me, a nothing burger. So it was very cool that they put up the effort here, and I mean, this is a very international thing. I'm trying to think. They say, yeah, from the Netherlands to Australia. Oh gosh. Any Australia listeners are going to cringe when they hear that. But this was, like I said, it was a big deal. 45 of 56 FBI field offices were involved in this whole operation. Also, the patch thing that I use, I don't know how official whatever that is, but I know I've seen those for like other big operations. So I was like, I hope that that's like official gear or merch or whatever. It's legit. But I mean, it's at least cool. I shouldn't say legit as in like legit on a podcast, but whatever. The Bureau seized the web domains of Genesis Market pursuant to a court order from the U.S. Department or the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Wisconsin, according to the seizure notice viewed by CNN. The FBI dubbed the takedown as Operation Cookie Monster, a play on the forum's sale of web browser information known as cookies, per the seizure notice. Which I also love that they had to literally put that in like a government document, like, this is what cookies mean. And then they're like, yeah, this is Operation Cookie Monster. We're about to get them. Damn, son, where'd you find that? Online. But, yeah, pretty cool sting, pretty interesting situation. I will say, though, I mean, it's a small dent. Like, yeah, you definitely stop some crime here. Like, that's a dub. But these people are going to kind of, re-control themselves, get back together, get another site back up, and I'm sure, you'll find them on a dark web near you. But that being said, interesting tale to talk about. Let's see, we got a couple more to get through here. Now, this is some old news. Well, I mean, old, at least for the pace of this podcast. I want to say this is about a week old. Kind of missed it, but it's going to tie into the last thing. I figured, hey, we'll just kind of skink it in. But from Gizmodo, Jack Dorsey block rebuffs cash app fraud allegations with data disclosure. Block is what used to be Square, which was like a cash transferring kind of service. I know a lot of businesses use it with Square. But apparently Block, which is owned by Jack Dorsey, I should say, which if you have listened before, maybe you can tell or not tell, I'm not the biggest Jack Dorsey fan. I kind of felt like nothing about him. I'm like, cool, guy in like tie-dye, probably like does psychedelics and has like $1 million bajillion or whatever. Neato. Tech is cool. But I don't know, it was something about when you like started palling around and like being like, oh yeah, Elon Musk is so cool, yeah. And I was just like, bro, what are you talking about? And then I started looking into like more about him, and I was like, nah, dude, you're just like just another fucking ew icky ass CEO. But anywho, I'm just putting my shtick on it. But Block, the Jack Dorsey-owned parent company of Cash App, is contesting accusations of fraud and rampant fake accounts with new data disclosure. In a Thursday memo to investors, the company claimed that 44 million of Cash App's total 52 million active accounts have been authenticated via its identity verification program. Now, all of this comes up. The people who made the accusation was a short selling, what are they called? I want to say company or group called Hindenburg. But essentially, they bet against these big companies and they come out with this highly detailed investigated reason on why. And in this situation, they said that they don't believe that Cash App actually has all of these accounts that they say that they have. That a lot of them are fake and are used for probably maybe nefarious things of that nature, inflated, whatever. They're not real. So this is all kind of fluff, and inevitably it's going to go pop. That was the worst bubble noise. But they're like, hey, this is going to go bust, so we're short selling it. Now, let's see, Cash App. Sorry, I'm trying to remember if I'm talking about Block or I'm talking about Cash App here. But Cash App has, like, they've come out to say, hey, like, we literally have social security numbers. I guess we can read a little bit further here. The company stated that about 39 million of those users represent unique social security numbers as of December of 2022. Assuming that means that minimum 39 million users are real people with real U.S. issued social security numbers, then the newly released data runs counter to the known short seller Hindenburg's claim from last week. So I think that's something that's kind of helped because their stocks took a little bit of a hit in response to the initial news that they came out with. But I think they've kind of stabilized a little bit. I haven't really researched this too much harder. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm kind of shoehorning this in for what happened this week, but I did want to at least talk about it since it was kind of relevant in a weird Cash App-y way. But let's see, we can get to the last thing. I'm going to take my break before we close. Whoa, yeah. Yummy, yummy, yummy. All right. From NBC News, Cash App founder Bob Lee stabbed and killed in San Francisco. So this is really sad news, but I believe, excuse me, Bob Lee, a tech executive who founded the mobile payment company Cash App and previously worked at Square, which is, the form used to be is now Block, died Tuesday after he was stabbed near downtown San Francisco, according to his family and police. San Francisco police said officers responded to a report of a stabbing around 2:35 a.m. Tuesday. The officers found Robert Lee, 43 years old, with apparent stab wounds. He was taken to the hospital and died of his injuries. They're still investigating the stabbing. I don't believe they found or have a suspect yet. I'm not sure. If there is one, I imagine it's going to hit the news and we'll talk about it for sure. But a lot of people said their condolences. We just talked about Jack Dorsey. Jack Dorsey was like, hey, this guy was like, a part of building Cash App with me. He was very important, very integral. Lee was also an investor in Elon Musk's SpaceX, and Elon Musk also, said his condolences to him. I will say, though, among a bunch of flowers and, good words and kind words to say, a thing that has spiraled into the conversation or out of the conversation is the talk about crime, which, crime. It's crime in the USA. We can't stop talking about it. We cannot stop talking about it. We talk about crime. Like it's more powerful to talk about crime than it is to talk about like gun violence to students. That's something that I've definitely learned in the process of these couple of years. It's sweeter than fucking sugar, apparently. You just say, hey, there's a lot of crime. This person got stabbed. That's adding to the crime. There apparently have been, though, there's been 12 deaths, 12, I think, stabbings, or maybe it's deaths, I'm not sure, in San Francisco. And they're like, that's crazy. So much crime. We gotta do something. Mayor, people. Which, it's sad, because that means then, what do they want to do in these kind of pressure cooked situations? Well, they probably want then more cops in the street. And what are these cops going to do? Probably form some crackerjack cool unit with like some acronym. And they're going to head bus. Awesome. So that is what I dread when people start stoking the whole, oh my God, crime. Hey. At the end of the day, this is about Bob Lee, great guy. At least from what he's done. Hey, at the end of the day, I don't know this person as a person, but at least they had done a lot of cool stuff in terms of making a thing. Like, you couldn't put me in a room and say, hey, make Cash App. Shit. No shot. No way. I'm folding. So... yeah, it's a shame, especially to go out, like that. It's really sad. But, obviously our condolences from here at Isaiah's Newsstand. But that is where we will leave it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like to support the podcast, I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Isaiah News. You get bonus content. I post an extra episode every week on my Patreon for my newsies. Also, quick link to the Discord, trying to grow that, build that. But that is free. You can find me and I will give you that for free. Let's see. Also, being a newsie gets you part of the newsie roll call. And once a month I do that. I say a name, let everybody know that you're a real one, a true one. You're helping out the pod. You're helping me out. And also, if you have something to like plug, shout out, if there's any kind of special news you'd want me to talk about or cover, floor is yours. I'm giving you the well. I'm giving you the bullhorn, the microphone. My mic is yours. It's yours. So yeah, that's all a part of the package for $5 a month. Let's see, free ways to hit me up though. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. I wonder who got IsaiahNews@gmail.com. Don't go there. Obviously, don't email them. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. But I wonder who got that first. Who's out there living my best life on Gmail? Makes you wonder. Anyway, I am on Facebook. I am on Twitter. And all the other cool socials where all the other cool people hang out. I'm there digitally. But not in the metaverse. Because fuck that. Alright, that's all I got. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.